back again for another review. This time, guys, we're going to be checking out my Epiphone Les Paul Modern. So we're going to try to make the video a little shorter this time. So with that in mind, let's jump straight into it. On paper, this thing is a freaking beast. We have a full thickness maple cap here, and we have an ebony board. And to top that off, we have locking tuners here. So Grover automatic locking tuners, lock tone, APR bridge, a stop bar tailpiece. It is Epiphone branded. Robuckers 2 and 3 in the neck and bridge with coil taps, and out of phase. So some fancy electronics going on here, guys. I mentioned the ebony board. We have 22 medium jumbo frets. Fretwork on this is good, guys. Acrylic inlays, really nice. I think they did a good job here. And the neck carve, awesome. So we have a 3-piece mahogany neck, guys. And did I talk about the weight relief? Ultra modern weight relief, so very light, about 7 pounds, give or take. But the neck carve, guys, so it's an asymmetrical neck carve. So it's a little bit thicker on the top, skinnier on the bottom. So you can kind of think of it like a bass clef, 12-inch radius, and you know, I love the playability on this thing. I think it just plays great. Graph Tech nut, guys, as well. Can't believe I almost forgot to talk about the cutaway. I've heard people kind of talk. I've heard positives and negatives in terms of the cutaway. You know, are there better designs out there? Yeah, there are better designs, but I still think this makes a difference. I do find it easier on this compared to the kind of typical kind of block structure that you have in most Les Pauls where the neck meets the body. So I think those are the important specs, guys. So again, on paper, this thing's awesome. Like an ebony board, full thickness maple cap, locking tuners, Graph Tech nut, you know, push-pull electronics, modern weight relief. Very cool guitar, guys. So with that said, let's talk QC and then we'll get to the tones. So as far as QC goes, Epiphone did a really good job. There's nothing major to point out. You know, the finish could be a little bit smoother in here, but aside from that, you know, everything's really good. You know, if you want to get nitpicky, if we're kind of looking at the binding along here, I don't know if I'd call it. I don't think it's finish bleed, but there seems to be actually the opposite, like a little bit of a gap between the binding and the mahogany body where you can kind of see the maple cap. So, you know, if I want to be nitpicky, I can say they could have done a better job there. But aside from that, you know, the fit and finish on this thing is good. Now, the nut is very well cut. I did mention the fretwork is quite good, but in full disclosure, guys, I did polish these frets. So, I've never come across any guitar under $1,000 where I felt like the frets didn't need to be polished. So I guess, you know, a couple of things. So as we look in the interior here, guys, this is a quick connect system. With a quick connect, it's a lot easier to switch out the electronics if you'd like. But what I did notice, and I'll show you in the tone section, the pots are not very responsive. So, you know, I can have the volume at 10 or I can have it at 5 and it sounds more or less the same. But there's still so many tonal options on this guitar that I'm willing to give that a pass. Any way you slice it, this thing plays awesome. It sounds awesome. So with that in mind, let's hear it. So start in the neck position, start with some cleans, and we're going to use an amp stem here from Plug-in Alliance, modeled after an Angle Savage, and it's just called Angle Savage. So let's check out some tones here, guys. yeah, so pretty nice clean tones. Time for some crunch. Middle. Sorry about that, guys. My computer crapped out on me yesterday. So it's the next day. We're back. Let's continue with our high gain tones. Bridge position. I don't know. Let's go. Let's look to the middle position. Jesus Christ, I'm way too high for this shit. Anyways, we're in the middle position now. What I want to play. Let's move her into the neck. Almost forgot. I was going to show you guys the pots. I mentioned the pots are like super unresponsive. So check this out. We got the volumes and tones all at 10. They're all maxed out. I'm in the bridge position, by the way. Now I'm going to turn it down to 5. It's like hardly a change in tone. There's a little less gain, but that's at 3, 10, 3, 2, 1. it finally drops off significantly at 1. So that's, yeah, you can see what I mean. This thing is awesome. Honestly, this is a freaking awesome guitar. I don't even know where to start. You know, why I wanted to make this video, I kind of felt like maybe the last video I made, some people took it as me, like, praising Gibson and shitting all over Epiphone, and I didn't want it to come across that way, so I wanted to review this thing, because it's actually one of my favorites. I love the way it plays, and it doesn't sound like a cheap version of the Les Paul, of the Gibson. I do think the Gibson sounds better, but like marginally, not 3-4 times the price better. I guess, you know, I should kind of talk about some of the downsides or some of the negatives. I mean, first and foremost, like, it does just feels a little cheaper, right? Like, again, the polyurethane finish is really just feels plasticky. And with the weight relief, yeah, I mean, it's nice to have some weight relief, but it does kind of make the guitar feel a little bit more flimsy. So, you know, add that in with the polyurethane finish and just the generally cheaper woods and cheaper quality of the build. But it doesn't take away really from the playability. Once you get into it, once you're, you know, in the zone playing this thing, it just feels great and it sounds great. Like, it really resonates. I hate to use that word. I know it's a buzzy word, but it resonates incredibly. But for the price, guys, like, you can't go wrong with this thing. As I mentioned earlier, like, the features in this thing, it's a steal at this price. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you're thinking about picking one of these things up, do it. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. If this is your thing, you're gonna fucking love this guitar. If you want to see more reviews, let me know. You know, drop me a comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. I hope to catch you. Thanks, folks.